Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a treasure chest box for you. This one came about because when I was making a box the other day that you'll have seen the video, it was where I got the fit of the giggles when I was getting my DSP lined up wrong. But it was when I was making the prototype, I actually found that I could make a box that was this shape, and it took me ages to work out how I was going to get it to open and close. But once I did, this is how it opens and closes. So inside you can see that is a pretty hefty sized box in there. There's lots of room for, oh gosh, all sorts. The actual box itself ends up being 4 inches wide and probably about 3.5 inches tall, maybe more than that. But it's a pretty good sized box, and it's sort of, you know, it kind of lends itself to being made into a treasure chest for children or a keepsake box or something like that. So I've made this one with crumb cake cardstock and Epic Day This and That DSP, and a little one of the Naturals Collections button with some linen threads. So I'm going to do a slightly different version from that because, as you know, I always do a different version, so there's 2 to have a look at. So I've got my scoring tool here and just some scrap cardstock because I have prepped all of, or most of the box ready. It is so easy, these measurements, you could remember these very easily in your head. The cardstock measures 10.5 inches by 8 inches. The metric version is going to be a fraction smaller, but that would be 26.5 by 20. In Imperial, we're going to score it at 2, 4, 6, 8. Did I get that on the 8? 8 and 10. I'm filming this in the evening here, so I've got spotlights over my desk, and I've actually got a bit of glare just here. And then in metric that would be 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25 centimetres. You cannot possibly forget that. And then turning it around, so the short side is across the top, 2 inches and 6 inches, and in metric you would score that at 5 and 15. So very simple. In inches 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 2 and 6, and in metric 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5 and 15. How easy, can't possibly forget that. Right, let's move the scoring tool out of the way. Tiny little bit of trimming. I would suggest doing your folding and burnishing first, just because we're going to be cutting and we're going to have lots of little loose flaps, so do all your folding and burnishing first. I'm not going to do that because I've already prepped. You need to lose this bit here where we've got the little section here and that one there. So let me get a bigger pair of scissors. So we're going to dump those, get rid of that bit, and the same on the other side. So dump those, ignore the fact that I've wobbled here, and then cut up these. Neater than that, I'm doing it quickly for the video purposes. So the same on both sides, whoops. And that's basically what you're left with. With your proper one that you're doing, don't get rid of those bits. You know, you can use them for all sorts. I will be using one bit. So that's the box. And here's the one that I very carefully folded and burnished, and I've done it, obviously far neater. I've cut my little sections here just to help it fold over. So let me move that one out of the way. Right, what we're going to do now is put it together, and I'll quickly show you now. You can see that this was the box I was trying to make the other week, that it would have folded up in this sort of a fashion. But what I want to do is make it into a pentagon shape. Where you put the glue is really important, so that you get this pretty finish here, so that you get this sort of kind of apex fashion. So you just need to grab a pen with this section at the top and the full section at the bottom. You're going to fold these ones over, the ones above it, and put a little pen mark in the middle there. And then the same on this one. And then these ones here in the middle going outside. So those ones there and those ones. that's quite important because it's actually how we're going to glue it together. And without gluing it, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. It folds up kind of like this. Oops. Kind of like this. And actually, what you need to do is this section here that's closest to the top flap, that needs to line up, that corner there needs to line up with that corner, and then you hold it into position so it makes this shape. Hopefully that made sense. It possibly didn't. So I'm going to put the glue on one side in the blob sections where I've shown before, where I put the pen mark. Just little blobs, they don't need to be massive. This is a brand new bottle of Tombow, so it's going to squodge all over me. And then definitely use a liquid glue, please, because you're going to have to manipulate all over the place. And move these all around, and they're going to try and tilt this so you can see what I'm doing. Whoops, oh, I've got that one the wrong way around. So, right. The bottom one over this one. Fold the middle one up and then position that so it meets in the corner, and because this is liquid glue we've got a little bit of movement, we've got time to move. See, I had too much Tombow. So that, hopefully the light isn't affecting it too much, still got a little bit of manoeuvre. There we go. So that has given us this sort of apex shape that we wanted. I'll do it again on the other side, and this is why you put the dots, because you're like, oh no, where do I put the glue? Because it's all folding up and I don't know what I'm doing. So let's try for smaller blobs of glue this time. Oh, massive. Huge blob of glue. One there, one there. A smaller bit there this time. Smaller bit. So number 1 over number 3, bring number 2 up, and number 4 over, make it meet in the corner there, and then just slide if you need to, and then just hold it in place. Honestly, it's an awful lot easier than it looks. It really is easy. So that's the main part of the gluing done. You'll see that this is open very slightly. I'm going to come back and put some more glue in there in a minute, but I want the bulk of it to set for the minute. I'm going to put that to one side. I've got my designer series paper that I've already cut and measured up. In inches this measures 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and in centimetres you would do 4.5 by 9.5. I wanted to make this sort of a bit vintagey, so I've got some of baked brown sugar, which is the colour in the background. Just with my little sponge, all I've done is I've just sponged up the edges and distressed them. So I've already done 3. I'll do the 4 just while that's drying down. It just sort of ages it and weathers it really. And then I want to do a little bit of aging on here. So I'm just really going to come and run around the edges that are these open sides here. Just weathers this, you know, particularly if you're going to, you know, make it as a keepsake box. It looks quite nice. I'm going to do the same on this bit here. So if I close that up for a second. And I'm going to do the same on this top part here. And apparently I'm going to ink my pad as well. Just run it along, just anywhere that's got edges that are apparent. Right, now I can glue down these sections here that are still slightly open. Hoping I'm not going to squodge all over the place. So if you just peel it back, you'll see where you need to put a little bit of extra. So we can hold that one down. I think I need a bit round here as well. So just a tiny bit there. place. So that stopped it gaping. Right, close it up now. Put a bit of snail on the back of all of these. I think I had this one on the front. What have we got here? Oops, wrong blue. Yeah, I think I have this one on the top. And obviously these, you want these to be the right way round so they're not upside down. So that one over on the back. And the final one over there. And if you were very good with a ruler and scissors, you could cut the same for there. You could put maybe ribbons on it. You know, you could cover up this bit. I actually like the pattern that it made, so that's why I've left it open. I've got a button. I've got one of the very vintage buttons, and I've just tied some linen thread on it. I'm actually going to reinforce the back because it is going to be used as a pulley system to open it up and close it up. I've just lost my, there we go, 1/2 inch circle punch, and this is just the bit of the spare baked brown sugar. Little blob of glue onto there, and this onto the top of that. And like I say, it's just to reinforce the button more than anything. That will be my phone. And then some glue dots onto that. I didn't leave the glue, the Tombow, to dry enough. Whoops, that hasn't dried long enough. There we go, that's better. And then just into the middle somewhere. And that, move everything out of the way, is a pretty little keepsake box, or maybe a gift box or something like that. I think it's quite nice. I'm not going to pull that button because I'm going to pull the Tombow off. I haven't left it to dry long enough. I'll show you with this one. It just opens up, and there you go. All sorts of bits and pieces could go in there. Lots of lovely treats and things. And as I say, keepsakes. You could wrap quite a few little presents and put them in there. All sorts could go in it. So I hope you like it. I really enjoyed making this because actually it wasn't a planned project at all. I didn't think I would come up with, well, I wasn't, like I say, I wasn't planning to make this box. I was planning to make this box over here, which was my soap box, soap and notelet box that I made the other day. But it was a happy accident that came up with this. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want to know how to get hold of anything, let me know. I forgot to say, this is the Etc. paper. That's one of the new ones in the annual catalogue. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.